Hello students, in this video I am going to discuss with you, share with you about the structure of the heart. Okay, you can see I have drawn here on my board a diagram of the heart here. Okay, this diagram you can also practice. Okay, this is comparatively much easier diagram, okay, of the heart. Now some basic features of the heart first I will discuss. The external features I will discuss first, okay, then I will discuss the internal structure of the heart. Okay, now see, the heart muscle, we know it as a cardiac muscle, okay, and if you look into the some features of the cardiac muscle or the heart muscle are: number one, that this is striated muscle or striped muscle. The cardiac muscle is striated or striped muscle, okay. So number one, the cardiac muscle, it is the striped muscle, striped muscle, okay. What is the meaning of striped muscle? Striped muscle means there are, bands are there, light and dark bands are there over the heart muscle, okay. Rest of the muscle present inside the body are smooth muscle, but because of the presence of these bands, light and dark bands on the muscle of the heart, it makes it, striated or striped muscle. This is not smooth muscle. Second feature is that the heart muscle is voluntary in nature, means the movement of the, involuntary in nature. The movement of the heart is involuntary in nature. We are not controlling the movement of the heart. We don't have any control over it, right? So heart beats on its own. Okay. So and now the, if you look at the membrane, outer membrane of the heart, okay, it is pericardium. It is pericardium. Okay, I have not drawn here double membrane. Okay, but pericardium is a two layer, and in between the two layers there is a fluid called pericardial fluid, which is present there. Okay, this pericardial fluid helps in the proper movement of the heart without any obstacle. Okay, so this you can name as a pericardium. Pericardium. Okay, the membrane of the heart. Clear? Okay, now pericardial fluid present there in between the two layers of the membrane. Now let's get inside of the heart. Okay, see, there are four chambers I have drawn here. If you can identify the four chambers here, what are those four chambers? The four chambers are the red, let me make, this is the left side of the heart, this is the right side of the heart, okay. So this is the left atrium, this is what, left atrium, and this part is the left ventricle, okay. And on the left side, right side, this is the right atrium, okay, and this is the right ventricle, okay. The four chambers are done. What else are there? The valves. If you look at the valves here very carefully, look at this one, this is one valve here, this is another valve here, okay, and two more valves are there. Look at here. So the valves here, this location, the valves are present in between the left atrium and left ventricle, okay. So this is known as the bicuspid valves, bicuspid valve, okay. And this one here, it is what, tricuspid valve, okay. Bicuspid valve and tricuspid valves. Tricuspid valves are present in between the right atrium and right ventricle. This bicuspid valve is also known as mitral valve. Okay. Now, two more valves are present here. Okay. These are known as, this one is known as aortic semilunar valve. Okay. And this one is known as, I have to write here, pulmonary semilunar valve. Okay, aortic semilunar valve and pulmonary semilunar valve. Clear? And the function of the valves, you know, preventing backflow of the blood. Okay. Now, if you look into some other parts here, if you see, look at here, along with the valve, there are some extensions of tissues on both the ventricles. Extensions of ventricles, you see, these tissues, they connect the valve with the ventricular wall. Look at very carefully. The tissues connecting the valve with the ventricular wall. Okay, these are known as chordae tendineae. Chordae tendineae. Okay, what they do, they holds the valves to its position, helps it opening and closing of the valves. Okay, so this chordae tendineae present on both the valves, both the valves means both the ventricles. Okay, now look at the muscle here. The ventricular wall. This is the wall of the ventricle on both this side. This is the wall of the right ventricle, wall of the left ventricle. If you look at the diagram carefully, you will be able to see that the muscle of the wall of the left ventricle is much thicker than the wall of the right ventricle. Look at very carefully. The wall of the left ventricle is much thicker. Okay, this is thinner. Okay, so here it is, the wall is thicker. Why? So that the ventricles, left ventricles, it creates extensive contraction. Okay, and that is why it needs a force, and to bear with the force, the wall has to be thicker. Okay, now see the blood vessels present here. The right side, left side I have given as the red color all. So red color means oxygenated blood. Does it clear? Okay, so this is what coming in the left atrium. These are the pulmonary vein. These are what? Pulmonary vein, bringing the oxygenated blood from lungs into the heart. Okay, so you see here, oxygenated blood enters here from the lungs through the pulmonary vein into the left atrium. From here it goes to the right atrium. From here the arrow, it shows here, it is going out. Okay, from the left ventricle the blood going out. Now this blood vessel is the aorta. This is the aorta here. Clear? So it is taking the oxygenated blood out of the heart. Okay, and it is trying to distribute. It distributes the oxygenated blood to the all parts of the body. Clear? This upper portion, upper branch, it goes to the brain part, and the lower portion, lower branch is going this side. Okay, this has to going down and distributing to all parts of the body, down on the heart. Okay, below the heart part. Now, the deoxygenated blood. The right side of the heart deals with the deoxygenated blood that I have shown with the blue colors. So, see here, this is the vena cava. Okay, now vena cava has two branches, we know. This is the superior vena cava and this is the inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava brings the deoxygenated blood from the upper part of the body, okay, into the heart, that is the right atrium, and inferior vena cava brings the deoxygenated blood from the lower part of the body to the right atrium. Okay. Now the deoxygenated blood enters here in the right atrium. From here it goes to the right ventricle, and now from here you see the arrow, the blood is going out. From the right ventricle the blood is going out. So this is the blood vessel known as the pulmonary artery. This is the pulmonary artery. Clear? Pulmonary artery. So it is carrying the deoxygenated blood from the heart, okay, to the lungs. The branches of the pulmonary artery is known as pulmonary trunk. Okay. So this is the direction how the blood flows. Clear? Now this is for the double circulation. As the heart blood enters into the heart twice, or you can say as the blood circulates through the heart twice, this is known as double circulation. How the blood entered twice? Look at here. This is once it enters, blood enters, going out. Again here blood enters, going out. So twice the blood circulates through the heart. This is one circulation, this is another circulation. Okay. So this is called double circulation. Now to write the answer, we have to understand the pulmonary circulation and the systemic circulation. Pulmonary circulation means the pulmonary artery that carries the deoxygenated blood goes to the lungs. From the lungs, oxygenated blood brings back by the pulmonary vein into the left atrium. This is what is the pulmonary circulation. Means the circulation that takes place directly in between the heart and the lungs. Okay. Next is systemic circulation, that is in between, the circulation takes place in between the heart and the body, rest of the body. So that is here, aorta takes the oxygenated blood to the body, it circulates throughout the body, brings back with the deoxygenated blood to the superior and inferior vena cava into the heart, that is the right atrium. This circulation is the systemic circulation. So these two makes it a double circulation. These two circulation makes the blood to circulate through the heart twice, right? This is one condition, this is another way. So this is what the double circulation is. Clear? And remember one thing, that every one circulation of the heart means in one beat, that's one beat. First beat that comes, see, heartbeat is love and dove, two sounds we understand. So love is because of closing of the bicuspid and tricuspid valves together. Okay, bicuspid and tricuspid valves together, and that is the first sound creates the love. Okay, the second sound comes because of the closure of these semilunar valves. The dove sound comes. So one circulation of the blood through the heart means one beat. That includes love dove, and one beat that pumps out 70 ml of blood, that is the stroke volume. So per beat, per cycle, heart pumps out 70 ml of blood, it is the stroke volume. So 1 minute is equal to 72 times heartbeats. So in 1 minute, if you calculate, you will come to know that approx 5 ml of blood is pumped out by the heart per minute. That is 72 beats. This is the cardiac output. Okay. So I hope that you understood the structure that I have discussed here. Please practice this diagram. It is something very, very important. Okay, it will help you to understand the heart in a much better way. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video, students. Thank you.